What's going on, YouTubers? It is your boy, Alyx, man, back up here with a wrestling video, and this is my Raw review for September 9th of 2013. This was a really good Raw. This was the go-home show tonight of Champions. I gotta say, I really enjoyed this show. The 3 hours just went by really, really fast. I feel like just the series of Raws I've been getting over the last month or so, perhaps even before SummerSlam. I was gonna say from SummerSlam up to now, but even before SummerSlam, they've been really, really, really good. And the 3 hours don't even feel like 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of really good segments. I'm only gonna talk about a handful because I kind of want to get to the nitty-gritty of this video, which is what happened with Daniel Bryan and stuff like that. But the cutting edge, by the way, seeing Edge again was awesome. Seeing him interact with Triple H was pretty freaking cool. He pretty much ripped Triple H a new one, talking about how he didn't need to marry himself to get to the top. That was pretty awesome. But the segment ends with, you know, after Daniel Bryan had his conversation with Edge and telling the universe that no matter how much they beat him up, no matter how long he has to struggle, he is going to be WWE champion again. After that, you know, we see the Shield bring out Christian, beaten up. And then Edge runs to him, leaning over his corpse, going, "Why?" You know, he didn't do that, but, you know, that was good. You know, here's something that I think a lot of fans don't really appreciate about this storyline. I appreciate the fact that this angle is being used to create multiple babyface characters, or at least add more emphasis to other babyface characters. It's not just Daniel Bryan. I mean, Daniel Bryan is the focus. He is the main babyface of this angle, but they're bringing in other ones. They're incorporating other baby faces. We saw it with Christian. We saw it with Big Show. Cody Rhodes, his thing with, you know, Goldust coming to face Randy Orton, him being fired. This angle is being used in a lot of ways than just giving focus to Daniel Bryan. And I think a lot of fans don't really appreciate that, and I don't understand that. So what if Big Show gets focused? Okay, that's good. Don't you want your baby faces to feel important? You know, don't you want a Cody Rhodes, a Christian, a Big Show, you know, a Dolph Ziggler? Well, I'll get to Dolph Ziggler in a second. Or, you know, other baby faces to look strong as a result of this angle and not just Daniel Bryan. Wouldn't that be awesome? So, everybody complaining about, oh, they're taking the focus off of Daniel Bryan. No, he still has focus. He's just not getting all the focus. Why does he need all of the focus for? But I'm pretty sure the smart marks, or the really smart wrestling fans that know how the business works, is going to come up here and tell me, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just a WWE apologist. Whatever. Call me what you want. To me, the angle is being used well. Especially when it comes to giving other baby faces the focus. I don't mind that. I actually appreciate that. Hell, you know, give the Usos or give somebody else the focus if you have to. The Miz is getting some focus. Also, another thing that I like about this angle is how they're incorporating past veterans into it. Edge and Goldust. Loved the match between Goldust and Randy Orton. I'm happy to see him back. And he wrestled just as good as he always did. You know, I thought the match... a lot of fans are complaining about it going a little long. I don't think it went too long, but I do agree it could have been just a tad bit shorter. It was still a really good match, granted. I really did like the match. And, you know, Goldust getting beaten by Randy Orton after he put up a valiant effort was kind of, you know, heartbreaking. Not really heartbreaking, but sad to see. And then him going backstage and then Stephanie McMahon, the she-devil, the wolf in sheep clothing, pretty much told him, you failed to help your brother. You failed to, you know, save his job. Now you can go join your brother in the unemployment line. Jesus. That was mean. Stephanie McMahon she was a bitch. And you know what? This is good. It's nice to see Stephanie McMahon return to that role that made her awesome to begin with. You know, the corporate bitch. She's always been that type of person, even when she was younger. A corporate bitch, just throwing her weight around and making use of her position to make fun of people. You know, that's Stephanie McMahon, and this role just serves that very, very well. But before I get to the main event, let me talk about Dolph Ziggler. His match against Bray Wyatt was a solid match, and he lost. And apparently, from what I'm hearing from people, Ziggler's in trouble. And this stems from the interview I talked about in a previous video where, you know, he came up and said that he's tired of the same people being in the main event, that he wants or wishes WWE would push other people to that spot and give other wrestlers opportunities. Now, maybe there's something in the interview that I didn't hear, but to me, what is wrong with saying I would like to see other people in the main event or in those type of spots? I don't see how that's a big deal. So when I think about that, unless he said something else, if he said something else, let me know down below in the comment section. I probably gotta go re-listen to it or something like that. But based off of that, what did he do wrong? Okay, so he doesn't like Randy Orton in the main event scene. So what? How is that a bad thing? I heard that he got jobbed out on Superstars to Antonio Cesaro. Why? What are you guys doing? Why are we punishing Dolph Ziggler for? For speaking his mind? That makes no sense. Ziggler is one of the most over baby faces in the company right now. So he decides to speak his mind about Randy Orton being WWE champion and he doesn't like it. And because he doesn't like it, we're going to punish him? Really? Are we still there, WWE? Come on, don't do that. That makes no sense. Let's not revert back to that type of WWE where if you don't go with the mold or you don't agree with the mold of how things are done, then you get punished for it. So I hope that that's not the case with Ziggler, okay? I'm hoping that this is just a phase, that wherever he said, even if he has some trouble with something he said and I just didn't hear it, hopefully it's short term, because WWE has to understand that fans love Ziggler, okay? And doing this to him is not gonna really be well for you. You're doing a lot of good things right with your company, okay? Don't regress and start punishing superstars for speaking their opinions, because then you're gonna revert back to that WWE that fans hated, especially me, okay? But let's get to the main event now, involving Daniel Bryan and The Shield, or specifically Daniel Bryan and Dean Ambrose. Really good match. Daniel Bryan came out on top with a victory. That was cool. But let's get to the stuff about Big Show and the ending, because for the last few weeks, people have been bitching and bitching and bitching about Daniel Bryan looks weak. Daniel Bryan is not going to be a superstar anymore. Seriously, shut up. Look at the reactions he's getting, okay? Do you not see these reactions? These are ballistic Rock, DX, Austin, maybe not on their level, but close to it, reactions from the crowd. Every time he comes out, they go crazy, okay? And you're worried about the audience not taking him seriously because he can't overcome an evil administration. Excuse me, it's not the corporation, it's the evil McMahon, I can speak English, McMahon administration, if I'm correct. Okay, you're mad that he can't overcome a stable that has Triple H, Stephanie, and Vince, the top people in the company running things, including Brad Maddox, and then The Shield, the most dominant stable in the entire WWE. You're mad that Daniel Bryan is not getting anything over these guys in 3 weeks. Not 3 months, not 2 months, not even 5 months, not even a month. 3 weeks. And then we get to this night where we see the Shield start beating up Daniel Bryan again, and I already knew people were gonna bitch. I told myself they're probably bitching on Twitter right now, and they were. They were all like, man, how does this help Daniel Bryan? Man, how does this do this? How does this do that? And then they start getting at the Big Show. It's like, oh, they're giving Big Show the focus. Daniel Bryan's getting put in the background. And then after the beatdown, we see Big Show, be told by Triple H and Stephanie McMahon to go knock out Daniel Bryan. Randy Orton is, pushing his buttons, yelling in his face, telling him to do your job. And then Big Show is saying, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And at this point in time, I told myself, you know what? Stephanie McMahon talked to Big Show earlier, and she told him that if Big Show touched the Shield, he would be terminated. The Shield wasn't there. Big Show can knock out Randy Orton. That little loophole in what she said, that's what I thought they was going to do. They didn't go that route. Big Show fooled Randy Orton, took his focus off of Daniel Bryan, so when Daniel Bryan got up and hit him with that running knee, what is that called, by the way? What is that running knee called? He needs to get that a finisher. That's pretty awesome. Anyways, when he hit him with that running knee to the face, that crowd went nuts! I went nuts! Guys, this is why it's important to let the bad guys be bad guys. So what if Daniel Bryan got his ass handed to him over the last 3 weeks? Okay, that just adds more heat to the bad guy, so when he finally overcomes them, it'll be a lot more sweeter. Would this moment have been that sweet if this happened after SummerSlam? No, it wouldn't have been all that important. It wouldn't have been all that sweet. You wouldn't have been salivating for small victories. This isn't a big victory. This is just him getting one over them for one night. But it's a big deal because he finally got something over them. You've been begging for them to get it, and then you got it, and it's awesome, right? It wouldn't have been this awesome if we got it prematurely. That's why I'm happy they drug it out. That's why I told you last week, hey, I agree. Daniel Bryan needs his revenge. But wait it out. Have some patience. Because of this. Because of moments like this, when he actually gets something over them, it feels special. And you know what? I'm going to defend Big Show too, because I thought Big Show was booked really well tonight. I haven't cared this much about Big Show knocking someone out since, I won't say ever, but it's been a while since I actually cared this much about Big Show when it comes to his TV character. I really wanted him to knock out Randy Orton inside that ring, or the Shield, beat up the Shield, because of the position he was put in, because of how he was booked. Last week was atrocious. How he was booked and presented last week was the opposite, the complete opposite of this week. He was crying. That segment with Stephanie McMahon was all kinds of confusing. That's why I was all like, guys, can we please explain this contract situation with Big Show's ironclad contract? Because I'm just really confused right now. Him being poor and not having a long-term life, apparently because he's big, was just stupid. And then that whole thing with Stephanie McMahon knowing Big Show since she was 12. Stephanie, when you were 12, he was 16. Big Show wasn't even wrestling when he was 16. Right? So that makes no sense. So a lot of things she said in that segment, and just the entire way Big Show was presented, him crying, this 500 pound, 7 foot tall giant crying, it just made me not like him as much. This week turned that all around. So I'm happy that they booked Big Show the right way this week, apart from how they booked him last week. Now I'll get into what I think is going to happen with him when it comes to the WWE Championship and Night of Champions in my Night of Champions preview, which is coming tomorrow. So I'm going to say that for that video. But for this video, I said all I wanted to say. Not much to talk about, you know. Wasn't really a big fan of what they did with Paul Heyman and Curtis Axel this week. Paul Heyman pretty much faked an injury and tried to get himself kicked out the match. That's just typical stuff to me. I wasn't really all that impressed, honestly. The doctor was fake, and then they did a segment with them inside the ring where, you know, the crowd was shamed. This was awkward. By the way, love the crowd. Toronto was awesome tonight. Of course, it's Toronto. But, you know, the segment just came off very weird. You know, the doctor was a fake doctor, and then the real doctor came out, examined his leg, and he was all like, yabba dabba 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 dabba. He's not really hurt. And I was like, what was the point of this segment? To make us, you know, want him to get beat up more? It didn't make any sense, but CM Punk came out and attacked everybody, and I thought that was really awesome. Especially when Paul Heyman started running. When CM Punk came out, I'm like, oh, his leg is healed now. Look at that. And then CM Punk beat up the doctor. That was cool. But other than that little 5-minute portion of that segment, the rest of it was just weird. That's why I didn't talk about it all that much. And the rest of the show was but like I said, I'll get into the Divas, the Tag Team Turmoil, and everything else when it comes to Night of Champions tomorrow. So look for that video. Share your thoughts down below about Raw tonight. How do you feel about it? How did you feel about what took place with Daniel Bryan, Goldust vs. Randy Orton, CM Punk and Paul Heyman, anything I didn't talk about, Big Show, you name it, down below in the comment section, or make a video response. Do what you do, and I'll catch you guys at my next video. Your boy, Alyx Man, signing off. Deuces.